With the SUV market getting extremely popular, especially for large vehicles, I like the fact that we still have a body on frame with this particular model, and the fact that it can go against your rivals like your Jeep Wagoneer, your Chevrolet Tahoe, and it gives competition. Today, we have the 2022 Nissan Armada, the SL in the Aspen White here at Brandon Nissan. Rick has given us the tough, the aggressive, updated exterior from 2021, the styling that gives the corporate yet traditional boxy SUV styling, the luxury inside, backing it with a naturally aspirated V8. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and we're going to go over all the specs and details, starting now. The Nissan Armada received that facelift that was well needed back in 2021, and it reworked the bumpers and the whole corporate styling. The hood is going to be a little bit longer, but you know what? It gives that elegant luxury look, and the lines indicate enough to let you know where the front bumper is. I do like how Nissan has made the badging white with the gloss black on the exterior of the 3 bars. That's a motion grille with the chrome surrounding it. It just has a good essence and a nice touch with your LED headlamps and your signature LED daylight runnings, and they even give you more luxury, making it LED for the fog lamps with the chrome surrounding it in the black trim as well. The best part about it is the body on frame, and I'm going to be stressing it throughout the review. Ground clearance at 9.1 inches, and they indicate that skid plate right down here with a metallic gray. So I think it does set a different appearance, and that's really what you're looking at when you want to buy a vehicle to stand out from the crowd. A height of 78.8 inches and a width of 67.8 inches. Everything in the front cleaned it up enough to keep that luxury and that off-road rugged look. The best part though is that we don't have any matte black anywhere, so you don't have to worry when you're doing your wax, any type of cleaning. It's not going to leave any paste anywhere on the vehicle. This Aspen White goes with those fenders. They don't necessarily flare out, but they are going to incorporate a 20-inch painted alloy wheels. It's a multi-spoke, 13.8 inches, ventilated on all 4 corners. The body on frame receives a full independent double wishbone suspension and a stabilizer bar, so you're gonna have a smooth ride, and it's not gonna be very noisy either, because they put a lot of sound damping in the SL, because you're gonna have all of your dual pane windows, you're gonna have that chrome that surrounds, and I like how they pay attention to detail. Just like the Infiniti, they start with the chrome here, not down here. Goes around all the way around your front windscreen. And I like the fact that we have the gray metallic on the roof rails instead of a gloss black, because everybody is doing this, and I think Nissan just really had to set a different tone. A length at 208.9 inches, wheelbase 121.1 inches. You're gonna have your vent on the side with the V8 badging, and I like how they got the aerodynamics that basically just indent just a touch to give a little bit of luxury for the front of the fascia, and it just goes down through the side. We have the step rails to get inside, because this particular vehicle is super easy to get inside. Comparing it to the Jeep Wagoneer, it's about the same realistically, because you got the power running boards. So it is easy to get into both 2 of those. These are larger vehicles. Continues with the roof spoiler. I like the fact that the window is rounded off, and they actually round and curve the rear just a little bit to give more of a sporty, elegant styling. Wrap around taillights with the chrome over the top. You got the black in between with the badging of the Armada, so it gives that dominant stance, and that's what you're expecting from Nissan. I do like that we actually have a bumper here and it's not flat, because kind of getting tired of the flatness, and the only reason why I say that is when you put things inside for the cargo, now you have kind of a lip to help you get inside. Towing at 8,500 pounds with a max payload at 1,584 pounds. You will have your spare tire tucked underneath here, and I like how everything's cleaned up, again, with the gray metallic. I wish that we could see some dual exhaust outlets because this is a naturally aspirated V8, and I like to see that power from the rear. You do have a power tailgate that will start your cargo at 20.3 cubic feet. There is a 12-volt charger and storage underneath the floor. The Platinum will add a power third row that is new for 2022. Otherwise, it's a manual with a split fold at a 60/40, giving us 49.1 cubic feet. Fold those captain chairs and max your cargo to 86.2 cubic feet. But you know, before we get to those engine specs, let's hear that exhaust note. The Nissan Armada SL will mimic the Infiniti QX80. The powertrain will be the same, and they have increased the power, so you're getting that 5.6 liter V8. It's going to produce 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 7-speed automatic transmission, achieving 14 to 17 mpgs, a 0 to 60 at 5.9 seconds, which is pretty quick when you have a curb weight of almost 6,000 pounds. Quarter mile between 14.6 and 14.7 seconds, but I do like the fact that you can get into the Nissan brand and you have all the luxury amenities and capabilities as the Infiniti for a fraction of the price. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2022 Nissan Armada SL as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Nissan Armada, very easy because you got those running boards at 40.9 inches of headroom, 41.9 inches of legroom, charcoal, leather, bucket front seats. You got the heated, they're 10-way power adjustment with memory for the driver, 8-way power adjustment for the passenger. The Platinum will receive the climate seats, which is ventilated and heated seats. Also in the Platinum edition, you would receive the intelligent rear view mirror. This one will not have it. Basically a digital camera for your rear view, which I do like that because it gives you full-blown Infiniti luxury in the Nissan line. All trims are going to receive the new 12.3 touchscreen infotainment. We do have the pinch. We do have the swipe because this is the Nissan door-to-door navigation. We have Sirius XM, new wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, FM, AM, HD radio. You can also make this a split screen, so that way it makes it easier for that as well. You do have your 360-degree reverse camera. You do have trajectory. I do wish that the screen was a full screen, but it's the same way in the Infiniti. You can change the views, so that way you can see your curb, you can see for the reverse and that tow line. And it does just make it a little bit easy and accessible. I wish it was the full screen. Bose 13-speaker premium audio sound system, tri-climate control, Bluetooth connectivity. You also have your wireless charging pad, which is right in here with a 12-volt charger as well. So I do like that they hide that up with the Armada badging. You have your rotary knob that can easily access that infotainment screen, and it has your voice recognition as well. This one is a 2-wheel drive, but you do have your snow tow mode as well. And I do like the fact that the dashboard is more modern. You got the wood inlays, and just the way it's set up with the gloss black in the center, it really does give a stylish look. Leather wrap steering wheel with the black polish inserts, multifunction, new 7-inch digital gauge cluster, which gives an array of information. You can do your navigation, you can see your consumption of fuel, your radio, different gauges in the vehicle and whatnot. So it does give you all the information that you need. As for the elbows, super soft. Open up inside here and you got some more storage with a little storage holder. This is also a dual action center console, which you'll see in the second row in just a few seconds. As for the door panel, you're going to get soft materials pretty much throughout. You're going to have your one touch up and down for all the windows. The front windows are dual pane, like I said, on the exterior. In storage, you can easily fit, I would say, 4 or 5 16.9 ounce water bottles. So the vehicle is pretty efficient for taking this on a long journey, doing a little bit of off-road rugged performance. But you know, let's check out that second row. For the second row, I'm at 40 inches of headroom, 41 inches of legroom, so I have a substantial amount. And you can also recline these seats back So you can make it even more luxurious. The air vents are in the roof, so it makes it even nicer, especially when you're in the third row, which you'll see in a second, because you can actually feel the air circulating in the cabin. Because this is not the Platinum, we're not going to get heated rear seats. We're also not going to get the dual 8-inch entertainment screens that are in the back of the seats. But we do have some cup holders here that you can fit about a 20 ounce. Open this up and you have your own little storage area. Another nice attribute, open this one up and you got more storage. You have your third climate control. Open up that dual action center console for the front, and you can get anything that was in the front easily accessible to the rear. There's storage behind both of the front seats. The floor isn't necessarily completely flat. You have 2 USB ports and a 12-volt plus a home plug. Elbows, gonna be nice and soft. Door panel, you get the wood inlays with the tweeter in the front. One touch up and down for the windows. Storage is pretty good. You can fit at least 3 or 4 16.9 ounce water bottles without too many issues. So sitting in these captain seats, it's gonna be pretty much like first class, almost like the sitting in the front. Let's check out the third row. For the third row, I'm at 36.4 inches of headroom, 28.4 inches of leg room, which is going to be pretty tight, especially because they have this little area here where it kind of sits up, so it does make it a little bit uncomfortable if you're sitting on the sides, but at least you have an area you can put your elbows. It's going to be a little bit more firm. You do have 2 cup holders, one that you can fit a 20 ounce, the other one I would say maybe like a 44 ounce. The good thing about the third row, even though we don't have the power adjustment because we're not in the Platinum trim, you can still recline them, so that way somebody tall like me can fit, and it's a little bit more comfortable. Let's see how I look in the center. Sitting into the center, headroom is not going to be too much of an issue. I'm grazing leg room. I'm going to have actually more space sitting into the center. However, for the butt area, it's going to be tight, and for the shoulder, so it's going to be tough to fit 3 adults my size unless you decide to recline these seats, and then it's going to be a little bit awkward, as you can see, because my elbow is pretty much on the 60-40 split. Ideally, you're only going to really fit 6. If you need to fit 7, you can. It's not going to be as desirable, but you can just sit like this, and 2 adults my size, not going to be an issue. Taking the 2022 Nissan Armada SL out for our test run. The nice thing about a body-on-frame vehicle is you can pretty much take it wherever you need, and I do like that. And I also like the fact that starting off with, they have increased that power. So before, there would be kind of a reason why you would want to go Infiniti, because it would have about a little bit more than 10 horsepower more than the Nissan, but now it's the same engine. They have not detuned it. They've given you the Infiniti power in the Nissan line. They did that for 2021. Now, one thing that I have noticed right off the top is you do sit in the seat setting a little bit higher than you do in the Infiniti. So it's not necessarily uncomfortable. It's just something that you have to kind of get used to at the beginning. As for the length of the vehicle, it is a little bit of a longer vehicle. So getting in and out of things can sometimes get a little bit complicated, but it is doable because you got the naturally aspirated V8. Turn radius at a stop point, you are going to be receiving about 2 in a part lane. The best part, naturally aspirated V8, so when you give it that gas, it's going to set you back at 413 pound-feet of torque. And another nice attribute is you have the braking. So when somebody cuts in front of you like this, you can still brake with the vehicle even though it's nearly 6,000 pounds. Now, braking from 70 to 0 is about 182 feet, so don't necessarily go crazy, but I do like how the sound dampening has been really impressive here. I don't hear hardly anything. You will hear a little bit of that naturally aspirated engine, which is what you want to hear because it is a nice V8 and gives that throaty performance, but you're gonna have to hit more of like a 3 RPM to really hear it. You don't hear any road noise or hardly anything. As for visibility, you set up high enough. I mean, you're almost at 10 inches of ground clearance. So the long hood, it just makes it even easier to understand where your front bumper is. Give it a little bit of gas. This is the best part. I mean, you're gonna get that 0 to 60 under 6 seconds, and the vehicle is a long vehicle. So to get that, it's pretty impressive. Now, there is 3 things I like and 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this vehicle. The 3 things that I like about the vehicle is the fact that you're getting an Infiniti for a discounted price. That is awesome, especially when you're looking to get into a luxury line. This has all the specs that you need. The second thing that I like about it, naturally aspirated V8. Any given time, I just give it a little gas. That 7-speed automatic transmission really drives butter smooth, and the suspension holds itself really good too. It's very composed. As for the third thing that I like about the vehicle is you're getting that upgraded infotainment, and I said it in the Infiniti when I did the QX80. It just really makes the vehicle feel new in the interior. For the exterior, it already feels new because they've already refreshed the front and the rear, so I do like that. Three things that I dislike: getting into the second row. When you get in, I actually hit my head several times on the top if you use the step rails. The second thing that I dislike about the vehicle, I wish that they would have added a digital gauge readout for the whole readout, because it would have just gave all that luxury that Nissan isn't necessarily missing out on. It just would make it a lot more new in the interior. And the last thing that I dislike about the vehicle is they don't really have a good management for fuel consumption. So this vehicle can be a bit thirsty at times, especially if you're sitting at an idle. It's just going to drink gas. So it's not necessarily the best in the gas consumption, but when you're comparing it to your rivals like your Jeep Wagoneer, I think it is pretty much head and head. And even if you're going to compare it to the Chevrolet Tahoe, it does still have about the same fuel consumption. As for the visibility on the sides, you can see pretty good all the way, I would say, to about the second row. You do have the blind spot monitoring. It's on the side view mirrors now. It's not on the interior, so that is something that makes it a little bit more of a reach, but everything pretty much is right where you need it. It's very accessible. The navigation does go forward, so I would say you probably use the rotary knob if you're driving a little bit more, or your voice recognition, but the touchscreen is still available. And the fact that you got the premium Bose audio sound system, again, you're getting full-blown luxury amenities in the Nissan line. I'd like to thank Rick here at Brandon Nissan for giving us this 2022 Nissan Armada SL for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click that subscribe button, check out the details, the merchandise, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.